The Emerald City, the site for round 11 of Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Lumen Field, the site, and once again, Seattle did not disappoint. Jet Lawrence had some moments in the heat races, Ricky, but class shines through.
Eventful night for this guy, no doubt. Look at him shaking his head. The guy just won the main event. Looked like he was fired up, shaking his head no.
And for the 450s, Eli Tomac, a monumental ride, gets number 50.
Well, he gets number 50, tying James Stewart in all-time Supercross wins. But I think mentally this puts him in a great shot. Nice shot in the arm for him to try to get his third Supercross championship.
Seattle, Washington, always love to come to the Pacific Northwest. Todd Harris alongside the GOAT, Ricky Carmichael. He's also Nostradamus because he told me during the race that if this track breaks down badly and it gets really ruddy, keep your eyes on Eli Tomac. That's exactly what happened.
Well, this guy won in an exactly perfect time coming into the championship. He'd been in a slump, and I said it right after the race. I'm like, man, mentally for him, this comes at an important time. We're coming down to the final stretch when we get done with the break next week, and man, it's nice to get a win in the off weekend. Now he's tied with Cooper Webb for the points lead, and I'm watching what you guys are watching with Cooper Webb and Eli Tomac is absolutely brilliant. They're performing at the highest level in Monster Energy Supercross.
Oh, it's going to be a treat all the way to the end in Salt Lake City. Let's start off with the 250 highlights. 250 West back on the track after nearly a 5-week break. No rust, Ricky. They went right to work from the gate drop.
There you go. This is the main event. Coming into the first corner, and Hunter Yoder, and he had a great start in his heat race. Main event, Styles Robertson there.
Right.
The bottom of your screen, number 40, Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha. He'll take the lead.
And so once again, Jet Lawrence having to do some work. We know he can pass. He's under the tutelage of Johnny O'Mara, patiently works his way through the field.
Well, he does. He makes some key passes early. That's the best time to make passes when these guys are still bunched up. Great pass right here by Styles Robertson. Go around the outside and just keep that front end light. Bounce around there. Cross back underneath him. And there'll be the pass.
Styles, oh, he would have a bad crash a little later on. Keep your eye on the 40.
Right here, he's gonna go, he loses his balance, and then boom, he just gets slammed into the dirt. You can see, hate to see that for Styles. He's had a rough go this season.
How about RJ Hampshire and Cameron McAdoo having their own little private battle?
Well, honestly, they had a lot of speed, and they didn't let Jet Lawrence get too far ahead.
Right.
I feel like if they weren't battling with each other and it was just more one-on-one, or strung out, I think that they would have been able to hold Jet a little closer. But this is a great pass by RJ Hampshire.
He thought that was the last lap.
Yeah, he did, straight up the inside.
So one more lap to go, and when the checkers came out, no surprise, Jet Lawrence, the class of the field in the 250 West, as he comes back, was not thrilled with it, shaking his head a little bit like, not really what I wanted.
Almost like when he went over the finish line, looks like he did a thumbs down, like he was bummed. Enjoy these wins, man.
Absolutely. 250 West back on track here in Seattle. The results, Jet Lawrence gets the win. RJ Hampshire, Cameron McAdoo, Enzo Lopes, and Maximus Volan, the top 5.
Yeah, incredible ride for him, and hopefully he'll be able to take that momentum, keep it moving on to Glendale in a couple weeks.
Levi Kitchen and Pierce Brown, they were heat winners, but they did not place in the top 5. They went 6 and 7, but a great night of racing, top to bottom, all 22 men. Styles Robertson, again, hope he's okay, but he took a hard fall after leading for much of that main event. After the race, Daniel Blair speaking with Jet Lawrence.
And I'm with Jet Lawrence, the winner of the 250 main event. Jet, congratulations. You had a pretty eventful night with the heat race crash. I know they had to rush, get the bike back together, and powered through that main event. Congratulations on the victory. Does it feel good to get out of Seattle in one piece?
Yeah, no, for sure. Today was a very eventful day, but I want to give a shout out to my trainer, Osho. It's his birthday today, and my dad's birthday was yesterday. He turned the big 5-0, so he said he doesn't feel any different, but we know once again the 5-0s start to hurt a little bit. But happy birthday to them too. They're awesome, and want to shout out to the crowd. They're awesome. I can hear them every lap. It's you guys really help get through a night like this for how sketchy the track is. So all you guys can pat yourself on the back. That was good on your behalf. But no, good to be back racing. It's been a while. Feels like I've had another off season, so glad to get through in one piece tonight. Then gonna go back home, hit some golf balls, and then on to Arizona we go.
Which is a Triple Crown.
Oof.
We'll see you in Glendale, Jet.
So Jet has to prepare for that Triple
man.
Crown. Look at this. That's a lot of talent, RC, in one family.
Isn't that crazy just how close, like, they're mirroring each other? And I'll tell you what, Hunter Lawrence has done great this year. He has certainly improved, and he's played a lot of catch-up and caught his brother, Jet. Jet does have that championship, though.
From the East, he's now riding in the West. Hunter's riding in the East. Wow, so a lot to digest in the 250 West class. Let's talk about Jet Lawrence. Daniel Blair alluded to it. It wasn't the easiest night because he had that little entanglement with Cameron McAdoo, and it took a little pressure on him.
Yeah, but he kept his composure, and that's what I admire about what Jet Lawrence is able to do. That was in the heat race. They collide. I'm going to replay this a couple more times later on this week, try to get some different camera angles, like from behind. If we had a straight on from behind, definitely I'd have to put more of the blame on Cameron McAdoo right there. Looks like he started to fade to the right, and the angle that he was coming out of the corner would have forced him to do that as well. But like I said, this main event right here.
They were close a few times. And
yeah,
Jet
they
said,
were.
you know what, I'm just going to check out.
They were, but Jet made a couple key passes here early when you need to. And this is the best time to make passes, when everyone is still bunched up. Sometimes you can get a two for one.
I think everyone was hoping there was going to be another great battle between the two of them. It was not to be, as Jet Lawrence gets the checkered flag and takes the win, increasing his lead in the 250 West class, throws the thumbs down. So Jet gets the win. Wasn't thrilled about it, though, Ricky. And as we talk about the 250 class, Jet Lawrence, I mean, he just seems like he's in such control of that bike.
Yeah, he is. He is in control of the bike. But we're going to Glendale. That's the next race on the tour. Yeah, 250 West schedule. And he's never won a Triple Crown. So his competitors got to know that. And so they probably are going to go into Glendale with a little more incentive, especially if you're Levi Kitchens. You won the last Triple Crown. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love going to Glendale. Normally that track is really, really fast, and it gets really hard and slippery, which could help a guy like Jet Lawrence because he has so much throttle control. He's very disciplined, being able to put the power to the ground. So, listen, when I think that he's going to have the upper hand, he goes and gets beat. So we'll see what happens.
Plus, they'll get a week off to rest up. They'll be fresh once they get into Arizona. As we take a look at the points now, it's now 23 points. Jets lead over RJ Hampshire, who finished second on the night. Cameron McAdoo finishing in third. He is now 26 points back. So, wow, 250 West has been sensational. For more on that, let's check in down on the track. And Christian Will, a crazy night for you. You saw it all up close and personal.
That's right, and we talked about Jet and his persona right on the podium. He didn't seem happy. We saw Cameron McAdoo there. He didn't seem particularly happy, obviously, because that back and forth with RJ Hampshire, and then what had happened between him and Jet in the heats there. But a guy who did seem happy on the podium and very satisfied with the steps that he's making is RJ Hampshire. And Ricky, when you just talked about the Triple Crown and it not being Jet's forte here, I'm thinking RJ's pretty excited about that. He knows that anything can happen. It's Monster Energy Supercross, and he knows if he keeps himself in a good position, he can keep championship hopes alive, even though there's a decent points gap. We just saw it was 23 points there, but anything can happen. If something happened like when in the heat race there between McAdoo and Jet Lawrence there, if that were to happen in a main, suddenly RJ can start making up some ground, and I think he's really happy about the progress that he's making with that. He's had an interesting season of ups and downs, but there's been a lot of good things in it. He had the 450 heat win there in Daytona when he jumped on his 450 bike. Now back on his 250, we see him second in points there to Jet Lawrence, and he knows how tough it is to beat Jet. He knows how good he is, but he honestly was the happiest guy on the podium there, and I think probably a weekend off and then going into the Triple Crown there, might be good for somebody like him. Get himself together, get a couple of really solid races under his belt in that Triple Crown, and stand on top of the box. I mean, that would just be absolutely huge for him. We saw him, his feature earlier on in the broadcast there, and how how much this means to him. He's had a tough journey to get to this point, so maybe there's an opportunity here in a couple of weekends to come.
All right, thank you, Will. Great stuff from you, and you'll probably not need the heavy jacket next time we see you in Glendale, Arizona. Want to remind you, Title 24 with Ryan Villapoto and my partner Ricky Carmichael. That comes up on Tuesdays on the YouTube channel, and of course, you don't want to miss out all things Supercross. Everyone will be tuning in to get your perspective, and of course, Ryan Villapoto's as well, and the SMX Insider. That's coming up on Thursday. That's every week on the SuperMotocross.com YouTube channel. Check it out. It is a great show packed with a lot of information. Join your favorite Supercross athlete and support the kids at St. Jude in the hashtag #LoveMotoStopCancer campaign. Go to supercrosslive.com/St. Jude or text the word SUPER to 785-833 to become a monthly donor and receive this unique t-shirt as a gift for joining the fight to end childhood cancer. Back in Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington. And once again, Ricky, we turn our attention to the 450 class. You made a great point starting the night out. It's all about consistency.
Yeah, it is, especially for Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb. I mean, listen, Chase Sexton didn't do himself any favors yet again, and I hate talking about it, but he's the one that's doing it. We're not jinxing him. I'm telling you right now, he's in control of his motorcycle, or not in control sometimes. But, yeah, this is a point in a series where if you're Eli Tomac and you're Cooper Webb, you have to execute every part of your game because those two guys aren't coughing up any points. So if you're Cooper Webb, you got to try to beat Eli Tomac. If you're Eli Tomac, you got to try to beat Cooper Webb, and you have to get good starts. You have to run up front early.
And those two have held down the last 4 titles in the overall. 2 for Cooper Webb, 2 for Eli Tomac, and they're looking to keep that string alive. And to Ricky's point, it is extremely competitive. Let's take a look at the highlights from Seattle 450 main event. The Titans came out to play. Cooper Webb had the red plate. Would he leave the evening with it as well?
Well, we were going to find out. Man, it was exciting to watch. He didn't get a great start.
No.
And I'm surprised he started that far outside, quite frankly, and giving up that all those gates on the inside. That's interesting. We'll have to get some words from him about that.
How about Moran's getting the whole shot?
Yeah, this is great. Look at, he fires it after that double, gets ahead of Chase Sexton, but watch this pass that Chase Sexton's going to make on the 80. Oh, no, I thought that Chase might have gave him a little elbow rub. No, that was all on Kevin Moran's
unforced error. And he would finish in 20th after getting the whole shot. We've seen this scene before. Chase Sexton out in front, his lead ballooning to almost over 3 seconds. You're thinking, tonight is the night surely where he gets it and goes out in front.
Yeah, right here. This was guys going back and forth. Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, but man, Eli had an epic line through the whoops right there. Early on in the race, he would swing out wide, keep the momentum going, get a good drive on the whoop entry. There he goes by Kenny Roczen. Roczen was riding really well at the beginning of this race.
So it's Sexton, Tomac, Roczen at this point in the race. And then,
yep, this guy right here starts to find his groove. Eli Tomac is going to get back by Kenny, set his sights on the 23.
And up
Chase Sexton, but he's going to come out of this corner after the finish line. He's going to miss the line right here, open his entry up, gets out of the main groove. Dirt's a little loose, probably a little wet from the rain yesterday, and loses the front end. You've got to be more aware. That is completely on him, and he's going to have to own that.
And at that point in the race, it looked like Cooper Webb, Ricky, was going backwards. He was losing positions, and then all of a sudden, he got a burst of something, maybe cracked a monster, and he is back up in it.
Well, he did, and I feel like he knew what was at stake. Eli Tomac was inching away, and he made a surge there to try to catch him, but he just didn't have the speed to get the job done.
And this was a big one for Eli Tomac. Gets number 50, which puts him in an all-time tie, 50th with James Stewart. Calm, cool, and collected as he gets the win. What a performance by Eli Tomac. Birthday boy Justin Barcia joining them on the podium. Cooper Webb finishing in second place. We take a look at the official results. Tomac, Cooper Webb, Justin Barcia, Jason Anderson. Maybe if there were a few more laps, he might have got up there. He finishes in 4th. Chase Sexton, after leading for a lot of the first half of the race, he finishes in 5th, 1 spot ahead of Kenny Roczen, AP in 7th.
Hey, Justin Hill, another top 10 for that Monster Energy Mountain Motorsports Team Tedder KTM. Great job.
Will Christian speaking with the winner.
Yes, I am, and he just got to see that on the monitor here with me. Eli, huge night. Congratulations. Back to the top step here. You get that red background back to your plate, and as we saw there, now 50 Supercross wins, tied for second of all time. What was the level of determination for you here tonight to get this all done?
Well, it was just an outstanding night for us. I needed that bounce back. It was almost like I was in a little bit of a slump the past couple of weeks, and just a little bit off. So feeling much better now. That track raced really, really cool. There's a lot of different lines out there. Obviously, it was very dicey early on there. I got past and then had to make those passes back. So had a lot of fun with it and had an awesome crowd tonight. So thank you, Monster Energy, Star Yamaha, and this was important for us.
Was indeed. Congratulations. Go enjoy it, Eli.
Well, he continues to cement his legacy. This is your top 5 all-time wins. Maybe a record that's never going to be caught, Ricky. This is ridiculous.
No.
72. Come on.
No, the guys are there's too much, not parity, but guys are so close in speed. Back in the early days, there's more of a gap in speeds between guys. And
look at this guy.
Liver now.
RC
Dude,
sitting
I'm sitting back in like 4th. I'm a nobody.
The great Chad Reed sitting on 44. So that's your top 5. That, folks, is definitely the Mount Rushmore of Supercross. Eli Tomac now all even with Cooper Webb. 2 guys running Triple Crown in Arizona on 248 points. They'll both have the red plate.
Crunch time. And, man, you are watching some of the 2 best guys who have ever done this. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to get there. And it's a battle of the minds. It's a battle of the minds. Cooper Webb needs to find a little more speed. Eli's got him covered on speed right now, and I feel like Cooper's just relying on too many things. I know he's doing everything that he can, but needs to find some speed, most importantly.
All right, we're going to lean on the GOAT's expertise and try to figure out what is going on. If he can tell us what's going on with Chase Sexton, we've narrowed it down. It's that front end. He has washed out, I don't know how many times when he's been in the lead with the front end.
Well, we've got a graphic of how many points he's lost, basically, from losing that front end. So let's hear. This is Tampa. You can see just what I think is happening is he's just asking too much out of the bike, way too much lateral grip. He's trusting the bike in situations where the bike isn't performing to where it needs to be. Actually, it's performing fine. He's just asking too much out of it. You can't expect to go that fast and for that bike to hold that lateral grip like that. I mean, he pushes and rides that bike so hard and just straight up, that's what it is. But as a racer and someone of his caliber, he's super talented. He's a smart kid. You've got to know where that bike works and where it doesn't work. If you know that if there's an issue with the front end, then don't lean the bike over so much. You know, if the track is starting to get hard packed, don't lean it over so much. Straighten up your bike. Don't you're just asking too much out of it. You got to know where it shines and know where it doesn't. Where it doesn't shine, you got to take a step back and go around, right around those troubled spots.
Well, he definitely has the speed. There's no question about that. It's that front end situation that he's thrown away so many points. We'll see if he can figure that out before we get to Glendale and the Triple Crown. Let's check in now with Daniel Blair for more.
Yeah, wild night of racing for Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb. Both those guys wanted that race late. They were fighting deep, but it goes back to the early part of that 450 main event. Once Eli Tomac kind of got a little bit of a wake-up call. Cooper Webb made the pass. Roxon's up there, and I think Eli kind of woke up and then dropped the hammer for maybe the first time I've seen in a long time. He got real aggressive there about to the midway point in the race, got the lead, and then it was in management mode. But yeah, for a rider who's been a little off, even on the nights when he's been successful, he hasn't had that burst. He hasn't had that kind of beast mode ride. But for a good moment there, for about 5 to 7 laps, he went off, absolutely off. And that's the Eli we've been waiting to see. And it got him the win tonight. Later on, Cooper Webb tried to make a run, but it was just too much to overcome. So for Eli Tomac, congratulations on your fight late. But it was the speed you showed early that got it done.
All right, thank you, DB. What a night here in Seattle, Washington. Remember, next week is a bye week, and then everyone gets back together in Arizona. It'll be a Triple Crown night. I'll tell you what, RC, 2023 has been one amazing season.
This is A1. It's time to drop the gate. Austin Faulkner on the main straight is down and down hard. Tomac wins A1.
Oh, no! Jet Lawrence wins the Oakland Supercross.
New stadium, new venue.
Looks like he's got a hole in his gas tank.
Eli Tomac. Lawrence with the big mistake right there. Oh! Eli Tomac's down. Levi Kitchen. Hunter Lawrence wins round 1 of the 250 East Coast Championship.
Cooper Webb back in the winner's circle.
Oh, man! An uncharacteristic mistake by Eli Tomac.
And Hunter Lawrence wins his 8th career Supercross. And Eli Tomac does it! Wins the Daytona Supercross for the 7th time.
Roxon is back in the winner's circle. Welcome back, Ken Roxon.
Oh, no! Aaron Plessinger is down.
The sprint to the finish is definitely on as we take a look at the upcoming schedule. Again, off next week, and then it's on to Glendale, Arizona. That'll be a Triple Crown race. You'll see that on Peacock. And then we've got an early start Atlanta Motor Speedway. That's on NBC, 3 p.m. Eastern live. And it's up the coast, East Rutherford, East-West Showdown. That'll be on Peacock. And then back on NBC on the 29th. 3 o'clock early start from Nashville before the penultimate Denver stop, and then it all comes down to this. Salt Lake City, May 13th, East-West Showdown, 10 p.m. Eastern on USA Network. So there you go, Ricky. We are now on to a break in the week. I know everyone's going to take a deep breath and then regroup for the final finish. What is your takeaway as we look at the final stops?
Well, this break is going to come at a good time for some guys. They'll be able to heal up some injuries, some lagging things, maybe make some final twists on the bike setups. But at the same time, we're coming down to crunch time. It is the final stretch of the series, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to get to Glendale. I love the Triple Crown. I know it's a tall order for the riders, but for me up here in the booth and for our fans, they get to watch the best guys race 3 races. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, that will wrap things up from the Pacific Northwest. Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington, the Emerald City did not disappoint. Congratulations to Eli Tomac. He gets win number 50 all-time. Jet Lawrence increases his lead in the 250 West class. We're off to a break, and then it's down to the Valley of the Sun in Glendale, Arizona. For Ricky Carmichael, Daniel Blair, and Will Christian, I'm saying Todd Harris, good night from Seattle.